My husband told me, "Your pregnancy disgusts me. Stop talking about it." His reaction when I took his words literally was priceless. We'd been trying for a baby for years, so when I was finally pregnant, I thought Tom would be as excited as I was. But he never seemed interested in baby names or nursery plans, and when the morning sickness hit hard and I mentioned feeling nauseated at breakfast, he slammed his coffee mug down. "Stop talking about gross things while I'm eating," he yelled. "I'm so sick of hearing about your stupid pregnancy symptoms. You've become boring and disgusting and all you talk about is how you're pregnant. Just stop talking about it completely." I stared at him in shock. 8 years of marriage and 3 years of fertility treatments, and this was his response to the baby we'd supposedly wanted together. I put down my crackers and said, "Okay, I won't mention the pregnancy again." Tom looked relieved and went back to his phone. When I started staying at my parents' house most nights because of smell aversions, Tom initially enjoyed the peace, but after a week he started texting, "When are you coming home?" When I just said soon, his texts became frantic. "Is something wrong? Talk to me." But I didn't. He specifically asked me not to. The neighbors noticed and started asking Tom if we were separated. He had to keep explaining I was just visiting family, but nobody believed him. And soon everyone on our street was whispering about Tom driving away his pregnant wife. By week 3, Tom was showing up at my parents' door. "Just tell me what's happening," he'd plead through the door. "I need to know." My dad would tell him I was resting and couldn't talk about it. My sister threw me a baby shower at the country club during Tom's company golf tournament. His boss's wife was at the shower and asked where Tom was. And when my sister explained he'd told me to stop talking about the pregnancy, she immediately told her husband. Tom's boss confronted him on the 9th hole about what kind of man tells his pregnant wife she's disgusting. Tom had to finish 18 holes while everyone stared with contempt. The shower gifts included a stroller from Tom's own mother, who'd found out about the party from my mom instead of her son. Tom had been calling me daily by then, leaving voicemails. "Please just give me updates. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean it like that. Tell me about the appointments, the baby, anything." His mom confronted Tom at Sunday dinner, crying about how she'd failed as a mother. His aunts and uncles told him how disappointed they were, and his grandmother actually wrote him out of her will that day. When I went into preterm labor at 34 weeks, I spent 3 days in the hospital on bed rest. My dad called Tom's office to let them know, and Tom's secretary was horrified he hadn't mentioned it himself. Tom burst into my hospital room shaking. "Why didn't you call me? This is serious." I simply looked at him and said nothing about the pregnancy. He grabbed my hand, tears in his eyes. "Please, I'm begging you. Talk to me about our baby." I turned away. HR called him in to ask if he needed time off for his wife's medical emergency that everyone except him seemed to know about. The preterm labor scare meant strict bed rest, which Tom discovered only when he came home to find a hospital bed in our living room. He stood frozen in the doorway. "What is this? What's happening? Is the baby okay?" When I just nodded without explaining, he punched the wall. "Tell me about the pregnancy." "I take it back, okay?" The delivery guys had told all our neighbors about the poor pregnant woman whose husband was never home, and people started leaving nasty notes on his car. My mom posted updates on Facebook that went viral in our community because she wrote about being the only support system for my daughter since her husband finds pregnancy disgusting. Tom created multiple fake accounts trying to comment,